Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Liverpool Stories Podcast with me, Dale Roberts, and right now we're sat in George Harrison's living room and I'm joined by a friend of mine, a friend I've known for quite some time now. He works with me as well at the Cavern Club. So, Jay Murray, welcome, mate.
Nice to be here. Lovely house.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
This is your first time ever being in the house, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a bit of an eye-opener, like.
Yeah.
Like the history of the house, I mean.
You joined us on the tour, so I do a tour once a month at the house.
Yeah.
And I said to you, do you want to come along, join the tour, and then afterwards we'll film this podcast. But you joined the tour just then. And so I was obviously talking about the history of Speak and the history of Liverpool as well. And I could see you enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. You're a great tour guide.
I wasn't fishing, mate.
Voted number one.
You're too kind. Yeah. But no, mate, I've known you for a while, and it's weird being here now in George's house, like chatting to you, because I've known you before you even knew me, because I'm obviously a huge Beatle fan, and I'm a huge fan of the Cavern Club. And I remember when I was in my early 20s, I'd leave my house, sometimes like during the day, and I'd just go off into town, go into the Cavern Club, and I'd typically go on like a Monday and Tuesday because it used to be free. Yeah. And I'd always sit there and I'd watch you. Yeah. And I got to the point, I knew your set, knew all your jokes and everything, and I'd still go, and I just loved it, mate. So,
but what it is, I mean, but you know what my show is like. I like to create a good atmosphere, fun, where like I involve the audience. It's not just about me; it's about them. More importantly, but like I make sure I always say where you from, and part of the world. Make a little quip or a little witty joke about it. But people can see that because they can see that you're not pretentious, and by making them feel important. Because these people travel from thousands of miles away. All these different countries, and it's like a mecca for them. And I've played songs like Beatle songs, and I've had like grown men crying in the audience, literally crying because I'm playing this song which I didn't write. But like and then you'll see where like I get them on stage with me. I don't tell them I'm going to get on the stage with me, but I just say, okay, you get up on stage. And then again, they're crying like babies, like that. You don't realise. I said, I do realise. I do get it. Like, it's a special place.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
So both of us meet people from all around the world every day. That's one of the most beautiful things in our job. Yeah. But you're right, like whenever I've seen your shows, yeah, you're playing the music, but it's about other people. I have always noticed that with your shows. It's always about bringing everyone together in the room. Yeah. But
there's no negativity while I'm on, you know what I mean? Because it's not worth being negative. People are there because they could be having the worst day of their life, or, I'm talking maybe local people, the worst day of their life, and then they come up to you and go, do you know what, you've really cheered me up. I'm like, well, okay, I've done my job. But it's bringing people together, as you say, it's a special thing. Yeah. It is a special thing. All religions, all colours, all different things, they're all together in one room, enjoying a nice atmosphere. And I try and create a good, positive atmosphere.
Yeah, I've said that for years, in terms of, not to go so deep, especially like minutes into this, because I do want to talk about you and your life, but I think it's one of the most beautiful things about the Beatles. When we think about football, it divides us. Like, you're an Evertonian, I'm a Liverpoolian. It divides us. Politics divides everyone.
It does.
Like, so many things in the world divide us, but music unites us, and nothing unites us better than the Beatles, because the Beatles are so widespread.
Of course, yeah. You get little children. My children love the Beatles. You know what I mean? But I've loved the Beatles since I was a kid. And then luckily enough, I got to learn and play their songs as a career. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's start at the beginning then. Where are you actually from? You ask everyone else where they're from. Where are you from?
Well, I was born in the same hospital as Julian Lennon.
Okay.
Shefton General Hospital. It's the Asda now.
Yeah.
Sorry for Tesco fans. But I was born there. Then I moved to Edge Hill. I was born in the house in Edge Hill. Just off Upper Parliament Street. And then I was born in 1975, July 75, so I'm 50. But when I was 4, my mother, sadly she's no longer with us, my mother had a stroke, which she was only 42. Wow. Paralysed her for the rest of her life, on the left-hand side, so it didn't affect her speech. Wow. So I was talking to my wife about this the other day, like early memories of I always wondered if I was there when she had the stroke, but I don't remember it, but apparently I was. Wow. This is pretty heartbreaking, like, you know, so I'm like, mummy, wake up, what's up with you, kind of thing. But again, early memories, she had a brain operation. This is 1979. I mean, it's, you know, I always remember she had a baldy head and stitches from there to there. I do actually remember saying, you look like a baseball to me mum, you know what I mean? But again, this is 1979, ABBA with all the range, you know, that stuff. And so my mum, bless her, she had a wig and a walking stick, right? Because she was paralysed. So she, and I did a little entertaining me then. My mum used to go, come on, get, do your thing. So I'll be on the couch, standing on the couch with my mum's wig on and a walking stick, singing Super Trooper by ABBA in front of her friends. I'm only that big, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, so then we moved to get a parlour house because she couldn't climb stairs. So we moved to Norris Green then. It was beautiful Norris Green back then in 1982. Yeah, just after the Falklands War it was, like 82 or 83. So we moved there and done all my growing up, my basic teenage years, and learned to play the guitar there. And how that came along, because one of my mates, best mate at the time, Lewis, his mum bought him a brand spanking new black Fender Stratocaster. And me and him used to like it. We discovered the Beatles together. You know, I was like bottle fed on country music, which I don't really like country music, but it's okay. So anyway, so the Beatles hit me, and then my mate learned me G, C, and D on the guitar.
That's all you need.
When you get the Beatles 6-chord songbook, it's about that thin, like. Then you go to the library, no internet then. Go to the library, then you get a book. Sometimes you wouldn't return it, but that's just the way it was back then. I wouldn't do that now. But yeah, so I used to, you know, bless me. We didn't really have much because my dad had to leave his job. He had a good job building on the Liverpool Corporation, building houses. So when my mum fell ill, my dad had to quit his job to look after her. Now, I'm the youngest of 5.
Yeah, how many you've got brothers and sisters?
Well, my oldest sister, you know, Chris, my sister, she's the oldest. She left home by the time I was born.
Okay.
She's 16 years older than me. Then I've got 3 older brothers. Then I'm the runt of the little, I'm the baby of the little, like, you know what I mean, yeah.
Okay.
My dad told me I was a mistake. I was like, thanks for that. Yeah. You know, but I'd like to think I was quite a good mistake.
Okay, so obviously living in Edgehill, everything like that, complex family situation there.
Oh yeah,
Your sister, obviously 16 years old, she's already moved. But you get into your music, right? But you're already performing, as you say, from an early age. So what was it that got you into the music?
Well, again, you know, I learned to play guitar quite badly. It's self-taught, you know, then reading books and stuff like that. And then I started to progress. And then I didn't join a band until I was 18.
Okay.
I mean, it was accidental how I got into live music because my cousin, he just came to my house one day. He went, can you play the bass? I went, I think I can, you know, because the bass is just 4 strings. Again, I wasn't the best guitarist. I was pretty novice kind of thing. So I started a band. Became a bass player in a band. And I always remember my first ever gig. I was in Lockerbie Church Hall up in Kensington. I remember throwing up, puking before the gigs. I was that nervous.
Wow.
And not just physically sing. I didn't sing, but I physically couldn't sing, if you know what I mean. It was crazy, like. But if you hear me now, I'd shatter windows out with my voice. But yeah, so...
You were that nervous?
Okay. Yeah.
Did that continue? So
No. But
you don't get... Because that's one of the things I always notice about you. You're never nervous on stage.
Well, I do get nervous if I play different venues.
Okay.
Because I'm a bit apprehensive what it's about and people in there. But with the Cavern, you know what it's about. There's all people and they're all in the same... You know, the Beatles. That's, again, what unites us as a group in that room. So, yeah. So I started playing bass and then progressed to guitar. Then I started doing a little bit back on vocals and stuff like that. And then we started a Beatles tribute band. They call them Mersey Beatles. They're still going to this day.
Yeah.
But we would call it Cheat Beatles when we first started. Like.
Okay.
So I went all over the world with them, Australia, but I was, before that, I was in the Pete Best band. So I got to tour with Pete Best.
What got you into the Pete Best band? How did that
Just
come about?
I knew one of the guitarists, Vince, and then I was started bass on Pete Best band, and they were going to Italy. I'll never forget the first ever gig in Brescia in Italy. I went, we need a bass player. I went, please. I always remember the first time I ever met Pete. It was crazy because we were in the Cas bar and in the cellar, and all the other lads had went to the store to get some beers. I'm just sitting there with Pete Best. I'd only just met him, basically. I was like, what do you say? Do you mention Ringo? Do you what do you talk about? Hamburg? So we started talking about the Hamburg days. He's a really reserved, quiet guy. You must have met Pete, really quiet man. Lovely guy, So I was 12th in line to the Beatles. It was crazy. I was like, oh wow, I'm in the loop. But then, as I say, we started the Beatle band. And then we got starting the Cavern then. Yeah. Starting the Cavern. And it just went from there. And then I went all over the planet with the band. Been to everywhere I've ever wanted to go in the world, every major city. So I always said, if I ever get to New York, that's it, then I'm leaving the band. This is 2008.
Wow.
And so sitting in the McDonald's in Times Square, just about to join the QE2, it was, for the final transatlantic crossing. So I just said to the guys, I said, look, listen, I'm not going to just drop you in. I said, but you've got till the end of the year. I think this is April sometime. You've got till the end of the year to find a replacement. I've had enough. It sounds glamorous. You'd be in Sweden for 2 weeks on tour, and then you come home for a week. Then you'd be in Germany and then for 5 days. And I used to go on all the time. And it sounds great as a young man. But when you got a family at home, because just before I had my kids, but I had a wife at home, and it takes its toll. And then you share in the room, and then you're living out of a suitcase, and that's the unglamorous side of it. You know what I mean? I mean, you get to do some pretty decent stuff and see some amazing places for free, and you're getting paid to do it.
See, it's amazing with Beatle culture. And obviously
I've met Beatle fans from all over the planet still.
It's the Beatle fans, but it's also, I know that tribute culture is big. We know, in terms of Benidorm, you go there, there's a lot of tributes. You go anywhere, there's loads of tributes. But Beatle tributes, there seems to be something different about them, only in as much as the world of Beatle tribute bands. Yeah. I know from chatting to many people.
Well, you've met them all.
I've met so many of them. Obviously, comparing Beatle Week for years, I meet, last year I counted it, and it was 126 bands I introduced on off stage. Now, some of these will be in varying different sorts of chapters. Some of them are casual bands. Yeah. I remember one of them was a great little band that were from the United States, and they were from a little island town, and they brought the entire island with them for Beatle Week. It was really nice. But you also get people who are fanatics regarding the Beatle tribute bands.
I've met a lot.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because I know the Analogues, Fab Fours, Mersey Beatles, Cavern Club Beatles, all these sort of top tier Beatle tribute bands, they actually have a fan following.
Oh, I remember playing in Adelaide in Australia. Now, we'd been out the night before. We'd had a few scoops, so it wasn't really that much. My head was kind of a bit west. So, and we were still in our gear with our, the hair and all that stuff. And the guy goes, listen, and all I wanted was another beer, just to, take the edge off my head, So we're in the dressing room, and the guy goes, listen, some people just, because we were headlining the first ever Australian Beatles festival, and he went, so some people just wanted to, sign a few things. So we got out the room, and there was about 200 people aligned, about 200 people, wives and kids and stuff. Wow. And we came out with a big brochure, we signing pictures, and people, these women and the kids are like, no, we were first. I'm like, just calm it down, But you get all people going can you sign John Lennon? I was like, why would I sign John Lennon? That's not my name. It's crazy, it's mad, it's crazy. Then you get the real techno nuts, going there. Have you the headstock these? I said I just bought it like that. Well, John Lennon had these ones. I said, well, this is not his guitar.
Yeah.
It's mine.
I mean, people
It was
are
a
attention
replica,
to
like.
detail, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I've met a lot of
Interesting
interesting.
people.
Sorry, I'm trying to word it like interesting people.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
But but they're harmless, like, and they're out in the right place.
Yeah, no, I love it. And to be honest with you, I've discovered that obviously being a Beatle tour guide, like the attention to detail that some people want and demand. I think the Beatles are second only to religion for that, if that makes sense, where people expect you to be exact and they will judge you if you have certain opinions or something that deviates from the norm, you know, or from the status quo. If you say, oh no, I actually don't like Octopus's Garden, people kick off you, and it's like, you don't have to like it.
Why don't you like that song?
Yeah, you get people like that, and I've found more recently, in terms of the cultish behaviour, is the whole sort of you can't have a favourite Beatle. I always say I've got a favourite Beatle, that's fine. But like more recently, people you can't have a favourite.
They were always seen as the four-headed monster, wasn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like back at, like people like Mick Jagger, he said like, they were never apart from each other. He'd walk into a room like the four-headed monster he was. You know what I mean? Because like he went everywhere together. You know.
Have you got a favourite Beatle? So I know obviously you've played
believe
John,
it or not,
you,
I'm not just saying it's George.
George.
Yeah, because we're in his house. George. I just think he was the most real. I mean, Ringo was cute and a lot funny. You could pick the mannerisms and stuff. Paul's the cute one, John was the angry one. But George, he always seemed like the most real. And you hear like interviews of him in like the 70s or the 80s. He's like, he went, like, there was a famous one about like Danny Harrison. He was in school and all the kids had chased him singing Yellow Submarine. And like he goes, why didn't you tell me I was in the Beatles? You were in the Beatles, Dad. And he goes, I just didn't want it. That was another chapter of his life. Imagine your dad being a Beatle and not telling you. Yeah. Then you have to find out.
I love that. Over time, I've found that most Scousers have George as the favourite Beatle.
George, you heard about all the stuff that like Lennon McCartney were like tyrants to him, and George Martin to a certain aspect, because like they wouldn't let him do, like, All Things Must Pass. The Beatles didn't want to do that or put that on Abbey Road.
Yeah.
I
find that mind-blowing.
He had this massive triple album. Yeah. You know what I mean? He had all these songs which he wanted to get out there, and it must have been so frustrating for him. Yeah. But then you hear something like Here Comes the Sun. Here Comes the Sun to me is the best song ever written. Yeah. Everything about it is perfection. And there's a thing on the internet called Deconstructing the Beatles, and it's all them playing, but the individual tracks and how the song's made. And like, it's me go-to, but I always, if I ever like maybe want to write a song or record a song, I always go to that just to say, okay, that's done there, and little bits there. But George is my favourite. Like, yours has been.
Yeah, I find that, just to chat about George for a second, since we're here in the house, like Abbey Road, I've decided recently Abbey Road's my favourite Beatle album. I think it's a masterpiece.
No, it
but
is.
I also think it's because George is at his best at that point. He's no longer sort of reaching towards John and Paul's standard.
And getting undermined by them as well, by George Martin as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, at that point in Abbey Road, you've got Here Comes the Sun, you've got Something as well. Yeah. But they could have had All Things Must Pass.
Exactly.
On that album. Yeah. And if
that
that would have been the case, then George would have dominated that album for classics. So,
of course. But like, I mean, like, I remember having a dream once about Abbey Road. And it was quite fit. I can't remember the basics, like, but I remember like thinking, that's the key to life. I remember saying to myself, that's the key to life. Abbey Road. Yeah. Remember when Paul McCartney, he did it all stoned in some party. He gave Mally, goes, there are 7 levels. Yeah. Keep hold of that. Then the next day he went, I haven't got a clue what I was on about. Yeah. I remember waking up going, Abbey Road. Every song, I dissected every song on it in my head, in the dream. I'm thinking, wow, that's it. Yeah, that's what life is. That's what it means. Yeah. You know, that sort of thing. But Abbey Road's a classic. It's my favourite. Revolver and Abbey Road. Okay,
yeah. I'm probably similar. I love Let It Be. I know it's not technically a Beatle album in as much as Phil Spector, not George Martin, but I love it.
I mean, like Rubber Soul as well, that's my third.
Yeah.
Pepper's okay, but it's...
I think Pepper's overrated. I love it, but
It was what it was for that time, you know what I mean? And you hear the progression of them from, as I say, in spite of all the danger and all that stuff, to like, writing these, Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields Forever and all that stuff. And, it's just, when you first hear, like, Rubber Soul, then you know, wow, hang on, something's happening here, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because I listened to them in chronological order, so like, trying to understand what the fans back in the 60s would have, like, okay, they're just like a little poppy poppy four-ended monster band. They're never going to last. And then he makes something like Rubber Soul, and you're like, okay, this is serious. And then Revolver. And then, you know, you've obviously got Pepper and stuff like that. But it's a progression.
Yeah.
You know, I think towards Let It Be, because when you see some of the outtakes of Let It Be, they don't really come across as good musicians. I'd been a musician. But then you hear some of the songs which came, and you hear them writing the songs. But then, like, as I say, to do Let It Be, because they obviously made Abbey Road after Let It Be. Then they reversed it. Made Let It Be was the final album. But I'm not really a lover of Let It Be. But it's Let It Be, the Beatles, shut up. That sort of thing. You know, but Abbey Road, it's a masterpiece.
What I love though, Jay, like having this chat right now, because how long have you been to Cavern for?
A long time.
Long time. It's been like 20 odd years, isn't it?
Yeah.
And but we're still sat here now in 2026, and you're obviously a huge Beatle fan. Like, so Beatle tattoos on you. Obviously, you've got a little son like myself called Jude.
Called Jude, yeah. People think I named him, but I didn't. Yeah. No, he didn't have a name for him. I think his grandmother. She went, "What about Jude?" I mean, his mum just looked at him and now he's Jude.
Love that.
It's crazy, isn't it?
No, but you're obviously a fan.
Yeah,
I think that shows, like, and that's important because, listen, I know what it's like being at the Cavern, because obviously I've been there for so long, and at the end of every Beatle week, for example, I never want to hear Hey Jude ever again.
Well, because you hear it so many times.
Yeah, it's so many times. If I sit in the Cavern Club for a few hours, you'll hear Hey Jude.
But that's it, you know.
Times at least.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. It's like, I'd done all the Beatles festivals back in the day, all the big outdoor ones when we used to play in front of like 25,000 people.
Yeah.
And I'd be like looking at, you know, one of the other lads, and looking at 25,000 people, and it's a lot. Yeah. And then, like, you tell them to do something, like, and they do it, and you're like, wow, that's power. You know, I'm not famous or anything like, but that's power. When you tell 25,000 people to do something and they do it, you're like, wow.
It's mad, isn't it?
You know, it's crazy, like, but yeah, I don't do the Beatles festivals anymore because I like to take time off them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm there all year round, luckily. But, you know, let someone else have a go, like.
Yeah.
So a lot of people who go to the Beatles weeks now, they won't know who I am. But, like, back in the day, we were like megastars. So you don't have to go to the Adelphi, like,
yeah.
Shake hands.
Well, this like you were in the P-Best band, and were you playing bass in the P-Best band?
Originally.
That was original.
But then I went to lead guitar.
Okay. No, that's big. It's Pete's obviously a Beatle, you know. But then joining the Mersey Beatles, I obviously, from keeping up to date with things over the years, the Mersey Beatles, they sell out.
Oh yeah, well, they're still a global band.
Yeah.
A global band. You know, good for them. They're still doing it.
Yeah,
they're still doing it. But I had my worth of that. I didn't want to be in a band anymore. It does get, if you're in a band with somebody who you sometimes don't get on with, you share in a hotel room for 2 weeks with someone who you don't necessarily get on with. It's hard work. Yeah. It's mentally challenging for you, and it really is. You know, so I just had enough. So I'm my own boss. If I balls up, anything like that, then I'll just laugh. Yeah. Instead of balls up, they'll go, you got that D wrong, you got that F wrong. You're like, yeah, sue me.
Now, I find it mad though, Jay, because, I mean, I've spoken to you about this over the years. You know, we've sat in the house, we've had drinks and had a conversation about it. But I'm a huge Beatle fan, obviously, and I'm a fan first and foremost, and I always tell myself that. So even now, I still go down and just have a drink in the Cavern. Even though I work there, I still go down there and just have a drink. Yeah. Because I love the place in general, but I always remind myself I'm a fan. And I always want to still feel that magic. Even with Hey Jude, I was asked by someone yesterday, does it not drive you mad anymore? And I said, just look around. Yeah. I was stood in the Cavern while Hey Jude was playing, and I went, I've heard this song a million times, but look at everyone. Yeah. You see people hugging each other, phones and cameras out.
People say, like, don't you get sick of it? I'm like, well, no.
Honestly, it's beautiful, and that's what I love about it, is how it brings people together. But I want to mention this, because obviously, like, I have mentioned it to you in the past. I was a huge fan. I go into the Cavern on a Monday and a Tuesday. And it's mad because, like, Cal Mack plays on the Monday nights as well.
Great guy.
And I'm talking like 13, 14 years ago. I wasn't working in the Beatles industry, but I was going to the Cavern and I'd watch Cal Mack. And I didn't even know him. Like, I just watch him and go, wow,
you're really good.
And then straight away, after Cal, you'd come on.
Yeah.
And I didn't know you. And I'd watch you and I was like, wow, this is great. I always remember thinking in my head, it was a weird thought, I always remember thinking, one day I'll play on that stage. I couldn't even play the guitar at that point, still can't. But I was like, I'll play on that stage one day. And it's so weird now because me and Cal, he's one of my best mates, and we go fishing together and everything.
Oh, we're going to go soon as well. I spoke to him about it the other day.
We need to.
Yeah, we'll have a laugh in the summer.
Me and Cal have obviously ended up close, but I joined the Cavern. So I joined the Cavern in 2018. I'd already worked in the industry for a few years, but 2018, I joined the Cavern Club, and I started working doing the social media. So I was marketing executive of the Cavern, all mine was social media and everything. And I'd still go to the Cavern, I'd still watch you. And even though I worked in the office, occasionally I'd said hello to you and everything. But we weren't that close.
No.
But then I think, if I remember correctly, it was late 2018 that we became mates. And we were bonded through a shared trauma. The trauma was worse for you, Jay, than it was for me.
Yeah.
So, a huge moment in the Cavern's modern history was people won't recognise you anymore.
No,
well,
I totally,
you've changed how you look.
Facelift.
Facelift. Wasn't the only thing that was lifted.
Yeah, tell me about it, yeah. Good
Genuinely, it was really bad what happened, but a lot of people know about it because I still get asked about it and I have no doubt you still do.
But it had over 100 million views.
It was mega. It was one of the biggest things that's happened to the Cavern in terms of viral publicity.
Oh,
and I say publicity.
It's negative publicity.
It was negative publicity, of course it was. But no one's ever spoken about it, so we'll chat about it now, Jay. It was a mad one. So I was out at a party. I was driving towards the party. And in fact, it was just before I set off driving. I get a little ping on my phone. And it was in a group chat I was in. And I click on the video, and there it was, you on stage, about to play your first song, Sweet Caroline, and some lunatic comes on side the stage and flips you on your head.
It's called a spear tackle.
A spear tackle?
You get sent off in rugby for that.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. I found out this. It was a crazy time, mate.
It was a crazy one. I remember seeing that, and I instantly just messaged and said, if that video gets out, that goes viral, that's huge. And my job then that night, and I was at a party all night, I was messaging various different meme accounts in Liverpool saying, take that down, please take that down.
I remember you telling me.
But it was uncontrollable. I woke up the next morning, and I'm talking, this was mega viral, millions of views across so many different channels. And it went absolutely
well, it was crazy because, it was afternoon, 2:15, Saturday afternoon. And you know what I say? I always say, give us a big shout if you're not from Liverpool. Now, bear in mind, I'd already heard this guy, as I was setting my gear up, being really derogatory and horrible to his girlfriend. I heard his voice, I thought, he was a bit of an arsehole. So I always shout, anybody from not from Liverpool, big shout. Yeah. Tend to get a cheap laugh. Anybody from Liverpool, big shout. Silence. But when I'd done that, he put his hand up as if to say, I'm from Liverpool. I just said, but you're not from Liverpool, mate. So, well, where are you from? And I thought he'd said Bristol. This is my term of events now, you know what I mean? I thought he said Bristol. And I said, it's a lovely, lovely place, which Bristol is. And then just out of nowhere, he does this little hop, walks there, and I'm totally unaware. And how it panned out, it was like just splits. You're talking split second here. I didn't even have time to turn my head. I just saw him out the corner of my eye. Just my eye turned, never forget it. Before I knew it, cracking on the floor. He grabbed me by my ankles, the bottom of my ankles, which I had no chance like. Again, split seconds. So I'm on the floor and I'm thinking, wow, what's going on here? That kind of thing, because it was a total shock. And then I just remember I saw the sole of his foot, his shoe, coming towards me like he's going to stamp on me. Again, just a split second. I am going to swear, I remember thinking, this fuck is trying to hurt me here. So I thought, no, I'm not having that. So I started fighting back, gone off the stage. Caroline, the times you never cease. I was doing somebody's wedding, good friends of mine now. I was doing their wedding in the Albert Dock in the Beatles Museum. I didn't really want to get involved with the police because my guitar wasn't broke and I felt okay. So, anyway.
You finished off your gig, didn't you?
Sorry.
You finished off your gig. You got back on
I got
stage,
straight back on and started singing Help. To all these kids, there's little children in there, and people go, "Oh, what's going on?" It's very rare occurrence that anything like that would happen. In such one, it wouldn't happen again. But so That's my tale of, you know, how it happened there. But again, I remember going home, and I was saying to my girlfriend, well, the girlfriend at the time, I went, I got attacked today, you know, because I'd done this wedding by now, you know what I mean? I went, I got attacked today. She went, oh, okay. So she woke me up the next day. She went, have you seen this? I was like, what? She went, it's gone viral. I went, what does that mean? Didn't even know. She went, well, that's had 17.5 million views. I'm like, oh, you're joking me. Yeah. But then I come to see you. And I always remember you said to me, you went, I haven't had no sleep for 3 days because of you. Yeah, I'm like, I was like, well, it's not my fault. And you even said, you went, you're being tweeted about more than Donald Trump at this time. I was like, that's just weird.
It was the only way, because you've got to remember, nothing like that had happened at that point in the Cavern's modern history.
No.
Because let's not forget, the Cavern's a very safe venue. And you have to say that. We both know. Amazing, very safe. It's, for me, one of the safest venues in the city. Cameras everywhere. Yeah. The
just so happened that freak occurrence happened to me. You know what I mean? I don't want to be known for that.
Accident. But the Cavern had never experienced this. So what I had to explain, because this also, it was between Christmas and New Year.
Yeah, it was.
This is like not an active time when everyone's in the office. So I had to tell them.
It all away.
I said, this is an emergency because, put it this way, Donald Trump has put up a video like 12 hours ago and it had 5 million views or something like that. I said, this video right now, on all the different things I'm noticing, has had over 40 million views in the same length of time. And they were like, okay, that's big. Yeah. I was like, this is only going to get bigger and they're going to keep recycling it.
It's still going around today.
It still goes around.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's mental.
But I mean, I don't want to be known for that guy. You know, it's just unfortunate that it happened to me. But like, as I say, people used to see me in the street. And I'm not easily intimidated. So I got over it. You know, that kind of thing. I was still a bit angry, like, but 4 days later I had to go to the hospital because I was bruised all year. That was about right. So I went to the hospital and I seen the woman in reception. I went, she went, I know where you are. I was like, oh, bloody hell. But then I'd have people like literally passing me in the street and looking back going, that's that guy. So there was one time when I was standing outside the Cavern and a group of lads approached me and went, oh, you're that fella, aren't you? So I was a little bit nervous because I moved me back to the wall then because I didn't want anybody to like go behind me and trip me up. So they recreated it, that kind of thing. And I have the little rope. It's only a rope on the stage now, but like, that was just a freak occurrence, you know what I mean? As I say, it went crazy. You should know because you had to deal with it. Yeah. It went massively crazy, but, you know, as I say, the Cavern's, it's a very secure place. Just one freak.
It's never happened since.
But it's crazy.
It's since or before.
Well, you get all these negative trolls on there. Obviously, the internet can be a horrible thing, but I was beating myself up. I was going through all these like what they call comments, and people are like, "Oh, I know why you done it. Jay's been sleeping with his girlfriend." I was like, "What? He was with his girlfriend." I didn't reply to that. I know why you done this. Jay bullied him at school. And I found out that he's from South Africa. So I commented and said, listen, I'm the Jay in question. I grew up in Liverpool. He grew up in Dingo. I said, I don't like bullies. I've never been bullied and I've never bullied. Blah, blah, blah. But the best one, is like, there's only one true crime here. The picture quality is awful. I thought, that's my humour. I thought, I'll have that. I like that one.
Yeah. A lot of people were writing online saying it was completely fabricated.
Oh, yeah, but now the new way there's AI. A lot of people have been saying it's AI. Yeah. I wish it was.
Yeah, but like genuinely, the amount of people, I had people messaging me, like other people I knew professionally, and they were like, was that stage? Was that set up?
No, come on, mate. You nearly brought me...
Exactly. I was like, it can't be.
Like, as I say, when I was 4, my mum had a stroke. Now, I was very domesticated as a kid, as a baby. You know what I mean? I used to have to like take my mum on a bedpan and stuff like that, which must have been very degrading for my mum, for her baby to have to pull, you know, all that personal stuff. Now, my son was 4 at the time. Now, the wedges, they call it, the monitors. Now, if you see the footage of it, I hit the floor so hard. Now, if I were on a solid wood, if I would have cracked my head on that, it would have either killed me or broke me back or my neck. Now, and this was really angering me at the time. I really wanted to get him, to chase him and get him. I mean, you know, find out who he is and all that stuff. Because I remember pushing my mum as a 4-year-old, 5-year-old in a wheelchair. My son was 4 then. I remember thinking, he could have been pushing me for the rest of my life in a bloody wheelchair because of this stupid idiot who had a moment of madness.
Yeah.
That's the sort of like things what were going through my mind, but I get over it now. Some people always say, "Oh, you're that fella." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, okay. My name's Jay. Nice to meet you."
Yeah.
You know, don't be known for that.
It was mega viral, and it still every now and then pops up and goes viral again.
Week, yeah.
So that's why it's interesting to talk about it now, because the
you get it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah,
what actually happened?
That guy was then taken out of the club.
I could have got him arrested, but I didn't.
Yeah, that's me. He then went off, and we don't really know anything about him.
Well, apparently,
like
we know
some
he tried to get back in a year later or something like that. I wouldn't know if I saw him on the street. It means nothing to me now. It's just a stupid isolated incident what happened, and I happen to be part of it.
Yeah. But no,
I didn't get a penny from it, though. No, if I would have bought a penny for every...
A penny for every share of it.
God,
that's mad, because still to this day we don't know who owns the video. There's no ownership of it whatsoever. It's absolutely
on YouTube, like they're getting money
YouTube,
from that,
yeah, it's mad. So it's a very interesting one. Like,
if anybody's watching this and you know who owns it, give it to me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's mad. But I remember saying, I had to put up the post and everything, because as I say, everyone was on holiday. I had to run it by the director. I was like, here's what we're sharing about this publicly. But I remember specifically saying all about the door staff online, saying,
"Oh yeah, they were amazing."
But yeah, and then the door staff, many of the same staff still work to this day, to my knowledge.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, there's a few of them, and but yeah,
it's just one of those things. Right? It's over and done with now. You know what I mean?
But,
I make a lot of people happy doing what I do, and I'm glad for that. Yeah, so.
One of the really good things that happened from it, and this is what I was saying a moment ago, was the fact that before then, you know, I'd shake hands with you, say hello to you and everything, but after that...
You don't do that to me anymore.
I don't even do it anymore. No, but it's like, after that we hug, do you get me? It's like we've become mates after that, because of course after that, you go 2008 into 2019 and then 2020, and we've obviously ended up closer as mates and everything like that.
You're a good guy.
So we end up further down the line, and I'm happy that it's something, it was a shared moment in a weird way that kind of brought us closer.
Over 100 million people shared it with us. But I'd say that's just crazy. That's that's over and done with. Like, as I say, I'm positive. I've always been positive. I've had a colourful life. Sometimes it's been, like I say, heartache with my mum and stuff like that. Then she died, and then when I was 15. But so like. I always remember, going back to the guitar, me mate Lewis, he got the Black Feather Stratocaster. I used to say to me mum, I want a guitar, can I get a guitar? Or maybe. I said, well, Lewis has got one, I want one. I'm only 12, 13. 12 it was. And he went, let's say for your birthday. 12th birthday came and went. Maybe Christmas. So don't forget, we were quite poor, you know what I mean? Christmas came and went. My 13th birthday came and went. Christmas came and went. And I was like, I'm not going to ask again. Like, so anyway, bless them. They got it from a catalogue. It was a white Fender Stratocaster copy with a little amp. I was like, I always remember. So that was it then. Before school, during dinner time, because I lived right by the school. Then before I go out and play football with my mates, another hour. So I got a little bit better and stuff like that. But like, I was thinking about it, 38 years I've been playing the guitar, actually playing the guitar, 38 years. It's a pretty lifetime, like, but I was always, I always remember, like, because we wasn't rich, and it took them 2 years to get me, you know what I mean? But I got it, and my dad always said, he said, we didn't get it because, like, I didn't have many toys, but the couple of toys I had, like, they wasn't the best toys, but I break them and stuff. He went, because I think it was only £200, which was a lot of money back in, whatever, 1987, 88. So they got me from the catalogue, and my dad didn't want to get me in case I ruined it. And I always remember one of the last things my dad ever said to me on his deathbed, actually. He said, I'm so glad I bought you that. I'm very proud of you. Which is good.
Love that, mate.
Yeah. I'll take that with me.
Yeah. So you should be. You've travelled the world.
Yeah.
Playing music to
I've
people
lived a life, mate.
and making them happy.
I've lived a life.
I know you have. But something also beautiful happens here. So, like I was saying, obviously I've got to know you a lot better. We've had many nights out and loads of nice times together. But after the pandemic, you met a lovely lady, didn't you? And now you are...
I'm married.
Married,
to a gorgeous American lady, Michelle. loving my life. Yeah. Let's say life's good. You know, it's during the pandemic, we all had a bad time. Well, some more than most. You know what I mean? I had it. I was pretty rock bottom. Like, you helped me out with one occasion with that, as we know. But yeah, from being like there and you're thinking, and everybody was in the same boat. You know, we didn't know what was going to happen. But now when you look at it and reflect, you're like when we done the live streams and stuff, some of those little memories of just me and somebody else in the cavern, just those two people. You know, that's treasured memories. Some of the stuff we used to talk about, like Paul Capper, really good friend of ours. He was just an acquaintance of mine. I was like, hiya, Paul. But we got to know each other really well. I say, with the hug and the love you, mate, and all that stuff, you know. We got to know each other really well over that. We bonded, you know, very well. But
yeah, for those who don't know, just so I can say this, obviously during the pandemic, it was a dreadful time for musicians, and it was a dreadful time for everyone.
Yeah.
But for musicians, what would happen is the rug was pulled out of them straight away. And the Cavern Club, it was one of the most beautiful things, with the Cavern Club being so big that they got a significant amount of funding from the Art Council, which then meant that they could put on live stream shows, which really helped out a significant amount of people during lockdown. Yeah. And we were talking about this before we went and started recording here. It was such a special time. But like, lots of people from all around the world would watch these streams. They helped get them through, but they also helped get the musicians through. So it was a really powerful thing where, again, music was sort of bringing everyone together and helping people out.
Weird time, but it was good. Yeah, but then I started work then because I had to, you know, I had kids. You know, I couldn't. It took me about 3 months of like just soul searching and thinking, well, what am I going to do? Well, you know, he bought my car off me because I was that poor. You know what I mean? I was that poor. Then I bought it back off him. But you know, Dale helped me out, which is, you know, I'll never forget. You didn't have to do that, but you did. You know. But yeah, so I started work doing various jobs. Then like I became a delivery driver for DVD. But like, I was writing a few songs, and you wanted me to sing one of this song, like. But I was just driving in a beautiful part of Wallington, the really culture, it's called, really posh part. You know, people are well off, like. So I'm delivering their parcels and stuff. And I'm like thinking, like, you know, just writing certain tunes or certain songs, lyrics. Going to all these beautiful houses and thinking, I'm going to have one of these one day, and that sort of stuff. And that's why I wrote that song, which you like. Yeah. As I say, not you, one of the proud owners of this place, like, you know, so.
Well, I am going to ask you to play it in a moment, but this was a mad one, because obviously you've said, you know, thank you for helping you get through tough times, you know, and that you'd already helped me out years beforehand. I was going through many tough times beforehand, and I'd come to the Cavern and you would help out without even knowing. But you also helped me out again, because after the pandemic, I settled down for a little while. I was in a relationship, and then I went through a breakup that was quite brutal. Yeah, and so I started again, typically after a few tours, I'd come into the Cavern and I'd watch you playing. And at the time, I was relentlessly saving up to buy a house. Yeah. And at that point, it seemed like it was impossible to obtain. And you said to me, let me play you this song. And I remember being in the back room of the Cavern, like pretty much near crying while you were playing this beautiful song about owning your own house. And I was like, that's special.
Well, it's about the hardships of, like, you know, starting off in life, and you know, you want some foundation structure, you know, so you buy a house, then, like, you know, your kids, if your kids and all that, then you leave it to your kids, but your kids end up leaving and getting their own little piece of England, you know, of their own, that kind of thing. You know, then, like, it's just about life. Not just about buying properties, but it's like, it's the story of, like, one building, your own piece of England, what you've got. You know what I mean? So
special, man. But this, I mean, like, obviously, that was me in 2023, like, near crying, listening to you play that beautiful song. But here we are in 2026. You're married to a lovely lady, Michelle. And here we are in George Harrison's house, and it's
crazy times.
It is crazy, mate. And it's been some journey. Like, as I say, not only knowing you for the past sort of 13, 14 years, but it's been some journey for you in general.
Of course, yeah.
Because you have lived some life. Like, you really have.
I've had it all at one stage, you know what I mean? I've been touring the world, and, like, as I say, the pandemic, from being there, literally to 24 hours later, you're there. You're under the mud, you know what I mean? And you go, how, You know, a lot of musicians, professional musicians, they were in the same boat. You know what I mean? Like people having to get out of the comfort zone and do like manual labour.
Yeah.
Manual labour, which I'm not work shy, like, you know what I mean? But I've done some horrible stuff. I mean, I'm not going to go into detail, like, but some horrible stuff. No cleaning certain places. It's not very nice. But like, so now, you know, we got back to it, and thank God we are where we are. But you never know what's happening with all these other people now. We were on a cruise ship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it happens again, you're like, oh no.
You never know.
You're testing me.
Dangerous times. So I'll finish off by asking you just a few things. Firstly, you've been at the Cavern Club for years. What's your favourite thing about being there at the Cavern?
How special it is. Because it says on the door, the most famous club in the world, and it is, without any shadow of a doubt. You know, the revenue only has to, you know, and the people who come, it's a mecca for them. As I say, I've had people crying in my arms, like babies, if you get them on stage. And you see like the disbelief in the faces sometimes, going, wow, this is it, you know. And I'm lucky enough, I'm there 4 times a week, you know what I mean? And, you know, I'm blessed, absolutely blessed to be able to say that. But, yeah, it's the most prestigious place for me to work. And I'm lucky enough, I'm part of the bricks and mortar, part of the family, all that stuff, you know what I mean? I get a few benefits, you know, free entry. yeah, I should hope so. Yeah.
Well, have you ever seen any really good gigs at the Cavern? Is there anyone who you've been there? And or more specifically, have you ever had anyone on stage with you that you're like, wow, how's this happening?
Oh, my friend Lauren, who's Lauren Gold, he played with The Who. And I got backstage Wembley Stadium when The Who were playing at Wembley just a couple of years ago. Like, and Lauren, I said, just went backstage. I wasn't interested in all. There was loads of people there. I just wanted to say thank you to him. I'll see you later. He went, Jay, just on a Saturday, Wembley Stadium, the dressing room, like. He said, Jay, are you playing in the Cavern on Monday? I said, yeah. He said, I'm going to bring Jake, his son. He said, can you get me a keyboard? Bear in mind, he's just played with The Who, packed Wembley Stadium on the Saturday. And on the Monday, he's on stage with me, singing Who songs and Beatles songs. I'm like, oh, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, I've seen a few people in there. Like, obviously, I didn't get to see the McCartney thing twice. But yeah, I've seen quite a few people in there. Like,
yeah. There was a special moment that happened just a couple of years ago. But it was really sad at the same time, because this, I mean, we've had, you know, even in the last 14 years, we've lost a lot of people. A lot of people who are regulars who come to the Cavern, who we've then lost. Or just people in general who work for the Cavern. But
Leo,
a really sad one was Leo.
Leo, yeah.
Leo was one of the lads who worked behind the bar.
I was quite close to Leo. Like,
yeah, fantastic lad, absolutely lovely. And that happened all of a sudden like that. Yeah. And it was tragic. And yeah, such a lovely lad.
Well, one of the doormen, Paul, he's on end of life support at the moment.
Sad.
Older guy, like, lovely guy.
That's I mean, we lose many people, and that's one of the beautiful things with the Cavern as well.
Bill, I always used to say, it's a family. It's a family. You know, I'm lucky enough I've been a part of that. So.
Yeah, but one of the moments that was sad but also beautiful was Leo passed, and then we had like a memorial for him like a week later, I think it was. Like,
in the restaurant.
Yeah, and people
upstairs.
got together and everything. Yeah. And I was tour guiding on that day. I'd spent the entire day on the Magic Missile, so I couldn't get to it. And plus, obviously, people who work for the Magic Missile obviously work for the Cavern, so it was a crossover there. But I ended up, that night, I'd been booked onto a private tour for a lovely couple called Alex and Isa. And they surprised me by booking onto the tour. They came onto it, and I was like, hello, guys. And it was like just us. And they'd met on one of my tours, on the Magic Mystery tour. They'd actually met in the Cavern Club. Yeah. I think it was Watching You. They met in the Cavern Club on the night with you, and then the next day, he didn't get a number, but he knew that she was going on the Magic Mist tour the next day.
I think you told me about this.
It was beautiful, man.
Yeah.
He knew she was going on the Magic Mist tour the next day, so he waited for her.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, she turns up for the tour. He buys the ticket there and then, gets on the tour bus, sits with her. And I'm looking down the bus at one point to see the two of them kissing. It's all dead cute. And she got pregnant that weekend.
Yeah.
And so when they next came back to Liverpool, was like 5 months later. So they surprised me. And they surprised me by telling me that she's pregnant. Like,
You thought it was yours. Sorry, mate, go on.
But honestly, I was like, this is beautiful. But they asked me, because I was part of their story, to do the gender reveal.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, how on earth can they do that?
Yeah.
And so I came to the Cavern that night, and it was almost like, for me, a beautiful moment of sort of, you know,
it's
rebirth.
a big part of their lives.
It was a huge moment for them. And I remember they came into the Cavern, and I knew that the atmosphere was incredibly sad and somber. And I said to you, can I do a gender reveal on stage? And you said, go on.
I always thought you were a man anyway. But
But yeah, we got them on stage, and there's this beautiful video of them on stage.
Yeah.
You're there,
Yeah,
and I think you played All You Need Is Love
Yeah, I
for
remember
them,
it,
and
yeah,
it was
yeah.
so beautiful, man.
yeah, that's
But
special memories. Yeah.
That's special.
And for them as well.
For them, they'll
But
remember that
just-
for the rest of their
yeah,
lives.
so, yeah, I'll tell you another thing. I remember years ago, this is many years ago, and I was singing, and just a little tug on my shirt, and I'd seen it, and this gorgeous little girl, she must have been about that big, blonde hair, glasses, from Brazil. Right, her name's Nicola. I'll never forget it, like. She's like, can I, perfect English, can I sing with you? I went, oh, come on then. So I lowered the mic stand down and get on my knees, so we're the same size, singing with her. I think she said she loves you or something like that. So anyway, I got talking to her parents, and he said, oh, have you got like an email address? And for some reason, I must have given them my personal address, my actual house address. I totally forgot about it. And about a month later, just a package, floppy package, comes through the door from Brazil. I'm like, I don't know anybody in Brazil. I totally forgot about this kid. And it was an official Nike Brazilian football jersey shirt with my name on the back.
Oh.
I was like, the next minute there was a letter written by this kid with a photo of me and the kid. I went, oh no, I remember that. And he was saying like, we went all over Europe, but like, you know, this made our vacation. Thank you so much. Just a little token of our appreciation. And I've had people like mothers come up to me now and say, oh, you got my son up on stage when he was like 10. And then he say like, well, he plays guitar now because he wanted to be like you. And he plays guitar now. I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. Yeah. So how old is he now? I mean, bring him in, get him up and play. But she said, yeah, he basically learned guitar because of you. I'm like, well, that's special. You know what I mean? That lives with you.
Yeah. Jay, you've touched a massive amount of people's lives. Even when you don't know about it, you've touched a massive amount of people's lives. And you've touched my life as well, as I've said to you. So, with that said, to conclude the podcast, could you play a little piece of England for me?
Yeah, it's in the wrong key because I need a capo. Capo.
Thanks so much, Jay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's called Your Own Little Piece of England. So you finally found your own little piece of England, a little place to call your own, somewhere for the children to grow up in, and somewhere you can finally call home. Find the time for fixing up the garden, catch the autumn leaves as they're falling from the trees, collecting all your thoughts that you put into an album for future generations to see. Some say a house is just foundations, some say foundations make a home, some say that home is where the heart is, some choose a lifetime alone. There's a picture on the wall that tells a story, an image of a happy place and time. The kids have left and gone to a little piece of England of their own, coming back to see you once in a while. Some say a house is just foundations, some say foundations make a home, some say that home is where the heart is, some choose a lifetime alone. So the day came when you finally lost your sweetheart, and all the leaves still falling from the trees. That picture on the wall still tells its story of your little piece of England by the sea. Some say a house is just foundations. Some say foundations make a home. Some say that home is where the heart is. Some choose a lifetime alone. So you finally found your own little piece of England, a little place to call your own, somewhere for the children to grow up in, and somewhere you can finally call home. Yet somewhere you can finally call home. Yet somewhere you can finally call home.